Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about why you should write stuff down. Sorry, I feel a little sick. I think I'm getting sick again. It's pretty nice. I love being sick, obviously. God, I don't know why I'm getting sick, but it's whatever. But today we're going to be talking about writing stuff down and why I think it's pretty important. Sorry, I have a cough drop. Why I think it's pretty important to have a skill to just write stuff down instead of just keeping it in your mind mentally. Because let's face it, you go through a lot of thoughts every single day. And you're not always going to be remembering like really important stuff. Because at the end of the day, you have a lot of other stuff to take care of, like if you're in school, or if you have your job, or just going through a day in general. There's a lot of information that you need to take in, and so you tend to forget whatever important stuff that you need to write down, or whatever ideas you have that you didn't write down because you just thought that you would remember it, and then it's gone by the time you want to remember it. So, for me at least, whenever I have an idea, or whenever I have something that's important that I have to get something done during the day, I'll write that down on my reminders app on my phone, or I'll just take out a sheet of paper, like a half sheet of paper, and just like write something down and then put it in my pocket. That's another habit I have. And I've found that not only when you write it down do you remember it better, but there's almost no way that you can forget it either. Because when you have something that's tangible, when you have something that you can see, such as, let's say there's like a reminder on your phone reminding you to do something important, or if you have a piece of paper in your pocket, unless you're just completely like unaware of it and you just wrote it down and you didn't really pay like close attention to it, and you just wrote it down and you put it in your pocket and then you forgot about it the entire day, there's almost no chance for you to forget what you wrote down. So whether it's writing down something that you remembered about work, or writing something down that you'd like to implement into your life, such as having a business idea, or reminding yourself to tell someone something, it's just really important to really write something down so you can keep it in your mind. And you can also train your body and your mind to remember stuff better. You can remember more information, especially because once you write something down, you don't have to keep it in the back of your mind to like still remember it, but you can put that aside and then focus on what you're doing, and then later on come back to it, because at the end of the day you'll remember, oh yeah, I have that piece of paper, or your reminders will just tell you instantly anyways, so they just come up instantly. And so if you've forgotten it by then it just pops up on your phone, or it's in your pocket. So having something like that, having something to write down always is one of the best things you can do. And not only is it better for remembering stuff, but you also get better at articulating your feelings. And you can also do self-hypnosis with it. So as a kid, sometimes I get punished and then I have to write down something, like let's say like 50 times. I remember one time I forgot the difference between B and D. As a kid, I was a pretty retarded kid, let's be honest. But I forgot the difference between B and D. So my parents got really mad at me. So they told me to write down B and the letter B and the letter D 100 times each. And after that, I never forgot the difference between B and D, obviously, but it triggers something in your mind. I don't really know the science behind it, but when you write something down, and not only are you seeing it with your own eyes, but you're also making that mind muscle connection of writing it down and just putting it somewhere in your mind, it's so much more easy. It's so much easier to remember, and you also tend to believe it more. So let's say you write down, I am going to be successful in 10 years. And you write that down, let's say, 100 times. You're always going to remember that, because it's, first of all, it's a hard thing to do. Because writing anything down 100 times is really hard to stay disciplined doing. Second off, you're going to keep on thinking about how you're going to become successful every time you have that thought of, oh yeah, that one time I wrote down I'm going to be successful in 10 years 100 times, so I really need to prove myself right on that. So you want to prove yourself right, and you want to show yourself that what you wrote down can come to fruition. So you believe it more, you remember it more, and it creates writing something down to remember it creates new connections in your brain. I've researched about this, and the more you try and remember stuff, the more your brain makes connections, like neural connections to connect different types of information to whatever answer or whatever question you're prompted. So let's say you want to, or you have a test tomorrow, I guess, and it's like a vocab test, and you write down each vocab word and the definition at least 5 times, each of them. It's going to be way easier to remember, and also you can make a connection when you're in the test. You can make a connection. You can go back to that memory of the past day where you wrote everything down, and you can almost visualize yourself writing down the definition, and you can put that definition on the paper, on the test paper. So it creates new mind connections. Search this up, by the way, if you want to see this. But that's why when people say that the school education system is bad, yeah, it's bad, but the teaching itself shows your brain a new way of learning. Because without, obviously, like, there's people who haven't gone to school and they've become successful, but that's because they had the time to, they had a lot of free time. But let's just say you're in school. Just learning in school creates new ways of remembering information. And you can search this up as well. But the more things you try and do to learn, like whether it's physical, whether it's visual, whether it's imaginative, the more ways you try, the easier it is for you to learn. So that's why writing things down is just one of the many ways you can learn new things about yourself, as well as just remember more information. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like, drop a sub, drop a comment if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for listening, and yeah guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.